Well, hello, here we go. This is Andreas. And you know where we're up to. It is 8 o'clock in the evening in the game. And what we're going to do is take this truck maybe out onto the road a little bit. If we can get the handbrake off the moment. I've had to book them out 3 times. And perhaps the mic and the sound dynamics have changed a little bit from the last video. I've just been playing with the distance of the mic and the different sound levels in OBS. Let's change the truck. And don't quite know which way I want to go on this. Maybe I'm gonna go that way. We're gonna quick time through the night, and this is approximately day 4. It could be day 5. So anyway, I'm going to call this day 4 if you have been following the videos, and then I'm going to call tomorrow day 5. And we're talking about game days, of course. So we've only got a few hours, well maybe an hour left of this evening, because as soon as it gets dark, that's it, we're done. And for this particular truck, there's a logs kiosk down there, so I want to drive both of them down there really. And that is actually, is it that way? I'm not sure. It is to the right. There's fuel up there though, we do need to put up to the fuel first. Yeah, you've got all these extra controls on there as well once you've got a truck hooked up. Winch truck, steer left, steer right, or don't. And I don't think for 1 minute that the other truck, the other vehicle can actually follow us as well, can it? I do not believe it can. Should we try it? The A469. Not letting me switch that truck at all. Never mind. We'll leave it there. We don't need it really. Probably try and pick it up again on the way back. I'm just trying to decide whether it's up there. It looks like it's up the big road. The big muddy road. Only one way we're going to find out. Feels like the truck's got his brakes on, to be honest with you. But he should be in normal driving mode. I don't think I'd be able to pull him if he had his brakes on. Yep. Okay. Crazy. Don't fall on your side, please. I think when we get onto this bit of land here, we'll just double check. Could have done with his help a lot more. On that leg. and I think it's going a bit slow. I think he is actually accelerating and what have you. And just change over trucks. His engine is on, I'm just turning his brakes off again. But that automatically switched off the acceleration. Yeah, he is moving on his own because you can see the ropes going. He's driving on his own. Just to decide which direction we're going in. We're not going the right way, are we? No, we've gone round. Well, that was a bit stupid. We should have gone up the what's its name road. We need the fuel, to be honest with you. So 267. I'm wondering if I can do an easier turn if I use that. I should have looked earlier. It's my own fault. But I suppose that's why they put this turning point here. This is not a natural, you know, landmark, is it? It's obviously a place where lorries have turned. Perhaps when there was logging the road out, and they had to have vehicles turning as they cleared the path for the width of the road. As I was saying in another video a few videos back, that these logging companies, they don't mess about. You know, we've got oddball trees stuck in our way and we can't move them. On each of these trucks you have a, you know, basic set of tools, as well as, you know, some machine tools. You will have an axe and a chainsaw. You know, so if all else fails, you can actually chop the tree down with an axe. You know, but for the most part, you have a chainsaw, and all these silly little trees that are blocking areas, just, you know, in places where you just don't need them. You'll have a set of wedges, which they use for chopping down trees, as well. Use the wedges to support the weight of the tree and lean it over more, whilst you're using the saw. You cut into it with your you've seen those American loggers and those Alaskan loggers, what they do is they saw into the tree, they saw a wedge out of one side of it the way they want it to fall with a chainsaw, about the depth of the blade in, and then they come to the other side and they start sawing into it, and then once they've got the blade deep enough into the tree, obviously dependent on the diameter of the tree, once the blade is beyond, you know, where the tree's weight would fall back on the blade, they put a chock in and start hitting it in with heavy you know, hammers or mallets to help push the tree in the direction and lever it off the blade, or else the weight of the tree sits back on the blade and stops your chainsaw, your spinny thing, from going round. Spinny thing. Your spinning chain from going round, and that's then your chainsaw is then stuck in the tree. And then you'd have to disconnect your blade and your part of your saw, or find another way of pushing the tree over. And then if it goes over without you cutting it, there's a chance that all the splints could kill you, because the tree can split and splint. And if you've watched enough of that American logger program, you'll see how that happens. Right, I don't want to drive past the entrance of this next place again. So I've been round there for a laugh. Now we need to turn right. And whilst I said I wasn't going to be using the night, it's midnight. It's not too dark. You see, we're not actually in the forest, are we? So when you're on the open road like such, and you've got all these lights, of course, on your vehicle, but it's not too bad. Some people might ask, where's all your, you know, your rotating orange lights? Well, in the places that these work, they don't need them, because there's not that many people around, and unless they're in a logging yard, I'm sure that they have an in-cab, you know, portable light that magnetically sticks on the roof if they need to, if they go into any places where they are required as a safety point. Because some logging yards and that where you take wood, they're, you know, you've got red tape up their arse with it, because the I was watching a video a while ago where this standard procedure for a log carrying articulated lorry, it's basically got 3 trailers on it. It's like a wagon train, and each one of the trailers has maybe 2 bays to it, so it could carry up to 2 sets of trees, shorter logs, so that they're already cut to length and graded and everything else. They're not just loose mixed stuff out of a forest like this. They've been graded before they've been sent off. And when you drive in the yard off the main highway, because it's near a civilised area, as you drive into the yard, you've got to weigh your vehicle, then you've got to give as much detail about the load you're carrying, or various parts of the load, and then pin different tickets on each of the bays that you have. So when you go to the computer and you log in your load, you might have a number on it already, you know, from the woodyard where it was cut down. Why am I getting damage? Sorry about that, spinning. Look how close the fuel was. Maybe I took the corner too tight. And I wonder if this is going to disconnect my truck. That's truck automatically refueled. No add-ons with fuel installed. Okay, that's good. And all I need to do now is to stop with the next one in the box. And then we'll need to switch to that one. No add-ons with fuel. So I'm damaged nearly to the halfway mark for some reason. And my advanced mode tells me utility attachment. I've got 800 points. So I'm going to give 277 to this vehicle, and then I'm going to tow this vehicle. See, the stupid camera angles, they won't let you get away from the... I'm trying to wind out so that you can see all of the vehicle. And we can't, that's as far away as I can get away from the vehicle. Right, now where do I want to go, left or right? Let's get the brake on. So we are just here. And I could maybe go left and open up some more of that road, and then potentially head back down to the log kiosk. Or if I go down to the log kiosk, I can actually cross the river there. I mean, I could go that way as well. So your lumber is only in one place. Well, I wanted to take you to the truck past the log kiosk. I mean, I could literally load a wagon at the log kiosk, and it'd be easier to bring it up to this objective. There is another track as well through here, starting there. Let me just and then going down here. The other one actually comes from this objective, goes along here and through these woods, but I can't remember how to get through the woods. It could actually be up through that there and round like that and over this hill. So I'm going to bet on this way. Yeah, like that. When we get a little bit closer, I'll redo the points. How many times did I take the handbrake off? Handbrake off, thank you. 3 times apparently. Seems about right. There is an easy way to go down to the log kiosk. Of course, could just go down there. And the other thing I wasn't thinking about was this is night time through the forest, and you know, I said I didn't want to do that. Big time. So whilst I'm only cutting off that bit, I'm probably gonna cut my head off if I don't watch it. I should maybe turn, forget that, let's just go like that. You know, wherever that takes us. Right, I think I can still get round there. I can avoid them rocks. I want to go backwards, mate. Can you reverse me? You can. Just to use up the night time rather than having to, you know, if I sit here, turn the engines off, which I usually do, because you just can't see for squat. You turn the engines off and then you just time forward, skip time forward till the morning light, and you've lost all them hours. I don't really think it takes as much time, because I think the clock in the game moves a little bit too fast, but that's to give you an appreciation of the day-night cycle. It doesn't properly get dark until around about 2200 anyway, and then it's light at 5:30. Oh, please don't fall over. just there was going to fall over. It was a little bit top heavy with that crane. Imagine coming back with a full log load. I don't mind loading him up manually. I do it usually. That's my main way that I load logs. But for this video business, I know it's boring to watch. But yeah, you could always skip through the video. I could time lapse it for you, but I don't think there's any point. I just mention, you know, skip forward. And if you wanted to do that in the video anytime, you can use your usually on most keyboards on Windows PCs anyway, you can use your L and your J and your K keys. Your K key is your play and your pause, so is your space bar, and your J rewinds by 10 seconds and your L fast forwards, skips forwards 10 seconds, whereas your arrow keys, generally left and right, if you've got the number pad arrangement on your keyboard, will only skip forward 5 seconds. So I use both of those methods. If I just want to skip forwards, you know, 5 seconds or 10 seconds, I use those. And of course you can tap them multiple times, so if you want to go 15 seconds, instead of pressing L and then the right arrow to give you the 15 seconds, you can just tap the right arrow keyboard or on your little pad 3 times, you know. So I often do that when I'm watching videos myself. So I would just say, yeah, I'll probably, if this vehicle won't load with a one click once I get it there, then I will indeed load it manually. Then I'll go and grab the orange truck. This is the plan. That's sat doing nothing, and instead of using this tandem setup like this, I'll use that vehicle, which can also load the orange vehicle, and I'll have to go and get it sorted at the garage first, which means giving the points a lot more backwards and forwards journeys to go and grab points to bring them to a garage to activate a garage. But you know, you can do that. We could easily just take another run back with the B130 in tow on this vehicle. And go and grab some more points for the garages. I don't like the look of that there. I think I'll go through the puddle rather than go over that undulating land there to the left of us. So we don't know what's under the puddle. I mean, we just assume that it's a flat bottom of soft mud like this. Should be even softer mud because it's got all that water sitting on top. But no, there's a something there. It's the main road, I think, what we're coming up to. So once we get out of this puddle, we'll stop and have another look. Yeah, it's the main road. And then we just turn right onto the main road. And we can drive down and then fill this with a vehicle. Look at it, it's a sea of mud. I'm driving with the keyboard, but I actually usually use my steering wheel and pedal, and I'm regretting now not setting it up because my finger's starting to hurt me. I'm using my middle finger on my left hand to hold the W key down. And I'm perhaps pressing a little bit too hard as well. That's another thing. White knuckle around. See, we know the truck's having a bit of difficulty because the other one's giving him a helping hand by shoving him. He's probably got better traction than what this guy's got. Or he's just caught up with him because the truck in front has naturally already made, you know, cleared the soft, wet, movable mud out of the way and is dug down through to more solid ground, and he's just following in the tracks. We've got everything on. Right, we're going to stick the anchors on and hold it there for a second. We have cleared our track through there and all the way down here. We'll take that off. So you can see now obviously how more central that garage is. That should sort of keep us awake. There's two routes into this we could actually go around by the road, which might be a better thing to do. You know, like that into the camp and go past this C6520. My god, the handbrake went off first time. Progress. I hope this auto drive truck has the brains to take his diff lock off. We'll just keep an eye on him to see whether he's been damaged. So we'll be down the road a little bit here. I'll be streaming for about another 30 minutes, I reckon. So it's a bit dodgy. Can't even keep on the road. Look. So quick as that. I was just trying to get someone's attention. Left. Yeah, I was talking about this winch business not being quite accurate, especially when you're winching the vehicle when the engine isn't running. You don't always need the engine running with most electrical winches. They will run off the battery and they sound like they're electrical winches. And hit me and I slam on the brakes. Let's try and get backwards a bit. The other thing is that when you're operating the winch, you know, you could do so without starting the engine because the batteries are what drive the winches. Alright, the batteries are recharged by the electrical system. You turn the most of the winches operate independent of the ignition, but even if they were wired in so they only came on when the ignition was on, you would just stick the ignition key in, wouldn't you, and turn it on if your vehicle was on its side, and then operate the winch to pull the vehicle back on its wheels. Plus, you could let the winch out as easily as you could let it in. It'll operate in and out, so you winch in or you winch out. But generally when you kind of winch something up the side of a mountain, like a Jeep or something, you have no choice. I forgot to put my all-wheel drive back on. And there's the truck we could use behind. I think what I'll do is I'll leave this truck here. We have to actually convert that orange truck. I'm only leaving this one here because we don't need it to go and get the logs. Oh, I'm saying we don't need it. Stop the engine there. And then we'll change to the other truck. We have 5:30, it's daylight now, so we're on the 5th day. And what we could do is attempt to take this truck back up the road on its own, with the other one in tow, because this one's much more dodgier not to try and, you know, want to tip it over, because you can't really tell what you're doing with the other truck. You might be going around the left hand bend and the truck's starting to fall over behind you when this is in tow and you know nothing of it. We could even load up that other B130 that I've left up here. Oops. Rocks. I should have stayed on the brown stuff. Truck's in good fettle though, I mean 17 damage. It's going to attribute a lot of damage to falling over on its side in the mud and being able to be kicked and pushed in order to make it get up again. Like a steer that's fallen over. I saw this guy. For what purpose else you would have said it was animal abuse? He was punching and kicking and cajoling the animal but he had to make it get up. Basically, this cow was his only source of milk. So he had one cow on his farm, and it had something wrong with it. It was an old cow, well past its sell-by date. Now, I also don't think I can remember much about filling up the blue truck there, the B130. I know you can load it with the crane, but I can't remember how it works, whether you fill 6 or 10 or 8 of them. Put 8 logs in and then it says it's full. I don't think this is going to want a fast, or offer me a fast load. Only at the lumber mill. Now see, you would see a rectangular box. So I thought I might get round. Just going to have to jackknife the trailer a little bit. We've also got to get the trailer straight. This, I think it is straight, but we'll find out. We have to leave the engine running as well. Crane. Extend the anchors. Six, position the anchors, push the anchors, and now then 4 is the crane, which should be unlocked, and then the crane mechanisms work on is it not in the advanced mode? No, scare the birds. I don't think that can take the long logs. It can take the medium logs. Oops. Okay. Right, I'm gonna have to go because I've got demands on my time here, and this is causing me grief. You know, personal life and all that reasons gets in the way. We will continue the video on at a later time. So I think we've done enough anyway for that. We've done the best part of an hour, which is I like to keep them around about an hour anyway. And then I'll also have a little practice on how to use this crane. I'll bring you the truck alongside maybe and load that up and have it tow followers down to garage. We don't really need to because we've only got 4 more loads left, but it'd be nice to see load up that truck as well. Anyway, thank you very much for watching. Please like and subscribe and do whatever you can to support the video, and I will see you next to see you.